Hello, I was here to tell you about Greenhill Woolen Crafts, making yarn and making identity bracelets. I've recently been telling stories involving textiles on a semitone live music night, which they're operating on Zoom at the moment with the recent pandemic. I've been trying to tell tales of involving textiles. So far I've covered Sleeping Beauty, I've covered Rumpelstiltskin, and I hope to cover Rapunzel. And while I've been doing it, I've been practicing handicrafts with my wool fibres, and I've been spinning. I've spun some white wool, I've spun some dark wool, and I've blended the two together in a two-tone yarn. Now the tales such as Sleeping Beauty involve a drop spindle, which a beautiful princess pricks her finger on a drop spindle and falls into a deep sleep, and when she wakes by the handsome prince, she is going to live happily ever after, but the prince is betrothed to another, and so there's a conflict between the old lover of the prince and this new princess that comes into his life, and of course they all live happily ever after, but there is an interplay of light and dark as to form a yarn. And the same is true with Rumpelstiltskin, where a beautiful young maiden is comes up against the king, and the king has to rule his kingdom, and in austere times her life is in danger unless she can spin a yarn, and so she does a deal with an imp who helps her to spin yarn, and there's a deal to be made, and there's an interplay of the light and the dark again to form a yarn, another yarn. And the same is true with Rapunzel. All of these three yarns, sort of European based yarns, some history with the Anglo-Saxon mythology, and Brothers Grimm have covered them. There are French derivations of them, Italian, and yeah, but they 4,000 years old was said to be the story of Rumpelstiltskin. So there are sort of long dating histories of these yarns that go back. So it's part of European identity. I was just looking at some of the yarns that are involved in this, and these are called making bracelets from these yarns as an identity bracelet using this friendship bracelet maker. There's a project for Greenhill Woolen Crafts. To make a bracelet, what you do is you take a length of yarn, I think it's about 170 centimetres. You double it up, because this end will form a loop which makes part of the catch for the bracelet. Mount it in the friendship bracelet maker, and then I'm going every third peg, because I've got 3 yarns, so I go 1, 2, oh that should be a third. So it'll go white, black, black, white, oh I was right, and then white again, white, black, black and white, white, and so next I'll do the black. So we have the 3. The 3 is a bit of a theme of the Father and the Son and the Holy Ghost. The 3 repeating theme. Not that these yarns are particularly Christian, though I always think of Europe as being Christian. The yarns, however, are just folklore made by people without particular reference to religion. And there are similar tales from other religions. So we have the white, we have the dark, black, and then we have this yarn that is made of the 2, if I can find the end. This 2-tone yarn will form the third yarn in the trilogy of the 3. So far it's been Sleeping Beauty, Rapunzel, Rumpelstiltskin. All of the yarns involve spinning. In Rapunzel, the handsome prince brings some silk to the maiden in the tower for her to spin a ladder for him to climb up. She ends up letting down her hair and he climbs up her hair. So there we have the friendship bracelet maker all threaded up ready. Now there are different knots and patterns you can make using these yarns to create an identity. Now the technique I'm going to use is going to be simple striping with 3 stripes. The light, dark, and the mix of the 2. So I do 2 half turns from the furthest to the left onto the next thread on the right, and then I go on to the next thread, do again 2 half turns, and so the light yarn travels across. So here is the friendship bracelet completed, showing the 3 strands going across the bracelet. The white, the black and white, and the black. And there it is.